just giving the money. They don't worry how much is spent, how it was spent, where it was spent. Just they may have one or two informations. But today, it's the other fact. They have to have an impact study. They have to give reports. They have to even show some photocopies. So everything has taken place. Now it has become a real responsible activity for a corporate also. That's why it was really a corporate social responsibility.
Hi everyone. Today we have with us Mr. K. Sridhar, who is the director at Infinity Social Welfare and Research Foundation, Chennai. He has also served as a CSR head of Hyundai Motor India Limited for more than 12 years. Mr. Sridhar has 3 decades of experience in CSR activities, sales and marketing, and administration. He is a leader with a passion for CSR for smart business improvement. Moreover, he also believes in the extraordinary power of CSR to heal, unite, and inspire. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Sridhar, and I really look forward to our conversation.
Sure. Thank you so much for calling me on the interview.
All right, sir. So to start with, the first question that I have for you is that with more than 3 decades of experience in CSR, what are your views on the CSR landscape in India and how has it evolved ever since?
CSR is not new for our country, actually. Even well before this all laws came into existence, we were doing CSR. Only thing, the difference is, earlier the big companies and big corporates used to do the CSR activities. And the second part is that they were mostly giving in the name of donations. They just hand over some, money. Some of the NGOs carry out these activities. That was the main different parts. But after some time, when the law came into existence, we started feeling that difference between that earlier thing and how it has evolved today. Now it has become a mandatory aspect. Every company, that net profit making company, whichever is having some fixed net profit of 5 crore and above, they have to carry out the CSR activity. Now what happened when they are forced to do that, this is mandatory for us, every company started taking personal interest towards the CSR activities. As I said earlier, they were just giving money to buy peace in their location or to carry out small activity for the development of the community. But now, since it has become mandatory and the more expense are involved, naturally the 2% is a big money for many companies nowadays. So every company has started taking specific interest, and either they are doing directly or of course they involve some areas, the NGOs and trust everybody also. But at the same time, the direct involvement has come. Number two, how it has been evolved, you can see. Earlier, they were just giving the money. They don't worry how much is spent, how it was spent, where it was spent. Just they may have one or two informations. But today, it's the other factor. They have to have an impact study. They have to give reports. They have to even show some photocopies. So everything has taken place. Now it has become a real responsible activity for a corporate also. That's why it was really a corporate social responsibility. Now really it is being taking place. So that in due course of time, that entire activity has become widened activity. It is not just restricted to one place. It has become widened so much that everybody have to do the job and everybody is supporting the job, including the government is watching it. So it has become really wide, and that we can say as it's a evaluation of that entire activity from philanthropic to another part of real impact study model of activities. And of course, now they are talking about what is that inclusive growth. Then they talk about creating shared value. So many theories have started coming. So it takes evaluation. It is still in the child stage. It is improving a lot. The evaluation is taking place as of today, now in this format. So even the government is watching how these are being carried out. So you can say that is the evaluation of the development of the entire CSR activity.
Indeed, I think you have very beautifully described the entire evolution, and now more and more value component has been taken care of. Rather than just spending a money, as you mentioned, like about impact reports, you have to be responsible by spending that money. What are you doing? What value you are bringing to your employees and in the society as well? So that's a notion that has started taking place now. So thank you for sharing that. And to move further, I would like to ask that how important is the aspect of personal stories to build a narrative around the work, and how does it help connect with the communities for the companies who are doing work in that domain?
Exactly, I can say one way because of my experience. Even though you are going to do a good thing towards the public, that is the community, first they don't believe it
Yeah.
because see, we have seen in due course of time. Even since I am working on this from 2006 onwards, as a CSR head, we have seen, when we go towards the public and tell them, okay, we want to do something for you, for this entire development of your entire community. First, they don't believe us because there are a lot of government actions, government training sessions taking place in this villages and town everywhere. But it stops there. The difference between the CSR activities and the government activities is this very important thing. Because we as CSR people want to support them and to ensure they are being placed, either it may be economic development, it may be some other infrastructure development. We want to ensure. So, but initially, they don't have that faith. Now I have to keep telling them about my own stories, how I have done there, how I have done this way. Or you please visit that area and watch. Even in fact, I can tell you, I have taken some of the community people, at least a representation, and shown them how we have done for another village. By seeing it, they believe. Then slowly they start coming towards us. They will ask what you can do, how you will help us. If I don't have finance, how you are going to help me? So these questions will start. Then I keep meeting them. To develop one particular work or a community, we have to keep having meetings first. Baseline survey is all different story where we want to collect information. But first you have to take them along with us. But once you carry out one particular job and ensure one community in one particular work is carried out properly, then it is just like fire, they will understand, oh, this fellow has come very clearly and they are really going to help us. That faith is very important. For that, I have to tell my own past records, narrating stories, everything I have to prove them. Otherwise, in villages, in general, they don't believe it. I have to take this, all my stories help me so that I get very good connect with them. Then slowly I move along with them. Then completely I will be carrying out entire activities, whatever I have planned for according to my baseline survey. So that way I have to, so that naturally the stories and my past records will be very useful for me to get the correct connect with the community. That is my
Right.
experience.
I agree that it's difficult and it's very challenging when we work for the people because their participation is very important for us if we are going, in their ecosystem, and just saying things will not get the work done. So as you have mentioned that demonstrating them, building their trust, winning their hearts they are some of the ways to make them believe that we are here to help them out and
Exactly,
deliver something.
exactly.
That's it. And I think you have already mentioned that, you have got that thing right, that you are taking care of that particular element by sharing your own personal narratives, your own
Sure.
stories. So they can trust you that you are
Right.
there to support them in the long run.
Yeah, correct. You're right.
That's really heartwarming to hear, actually, and thank you for sharing that with us. So the third question that I have for you is that what is your take on the partnerships and their effect on amplifying the social good done by any organization or any company?
We can see partnership, why we are taking. Nowadays, since I said nowadays, most of the corporates are involving themselves directly. And luckily, they are putting their own manpower. I'm very happy to see that it's happening now. This is another type of evaluation which I forgot to tell you because most of the companies nowadays selecting MSW students, separately putting an exclusive department for CSR activities. This is also an evolution in the industry itself. So now what happens when they are putting one particular group of people to work for CSR? Surely they are not expert in every aspect. So naturally, they have to go towards. See, if you want to have education subject or a women's subject or something like a livelihood area or something like water development. So there are a lot of things which can be done under CSR. Now every expertise is not with me. So naturally, I go with a partner who is having that particular expertise. Now, selecting the expertise group is very important. And also the goal what I am having and the goal what they are holding should be in one line. Otherwise, what will happen? Because when I am selecting a partner and putting them in front of public, where for whom they are working for me. But they are the front face. But I am the real back end guy who is going to be affected for the good or bad, whatever they are doing. So now, normally, by selecting the partner, I have to be very careful. Our entire motto and goal should be in line with each other. Then only I will be able to achieve. So naturally, when I am selecting the partner, I go for a lot of background work. I select them on the basis of their capacity, not only capacity, then I think about what is their ultimate goal, what is their experience in many projects, what they have done it. And naturally, I will go for different partner in different areas.
Right.
So education, somebody will be expert. In water development area, somebody will be expert. So it depend upon their expertise. I select partners and I fix them into my own goal. Then it suits me, and we jointly together we work towards our achieving our own goal. Actually, that way we select and we are successful. Most of the time, we take a lot of time to select the partner. That's why it takes time also. Sometimes even the NGOs have the feeling why they are taking so much of time. Because we are bound to answer our own management.
Yeah.
This every NGO will have to understand also. That's the reason we take a lot of time. When you are aligned together and our goals are together, naturally we'll be able to achieve that, what we want to carry out in the development of the state.
I think that's the right approach because leveraging the expertise first, finding that potential, and then tapping on the right people to work with right kind of expertise is very important to deliver some kind of good and some social impact for at scale. So
Yeah.
that is required, and I think that's the approach that we all should follow to deliver better changes and solutions in the society. Yes, thank you for sharing that with us. And to move further now, I would like to ask that could you please shed some light on the livelihood promotional model village program that you worked on?
Oh. Actually, the model village program itself is a big subject.
Yeah.
And I understand even the government of India is having a specific, one model also. But from my experience, it's not new for me as such because I learned this in my almost I can say childhood because one of my relative who was my grandmother was a very good social worker. In those days itself, I have seen she has developed an entire model of a slum into a very big town area. By seeing that what are the activities, it was always in my mind how they have developed. Okay, then I was able to understand what is the real model village. So if I understood this way, and I have experienced and I have become successful in creating such model villages during my experience now. See, model village itself says in very two part. Development of infrastructure is one area, and development of economic condition is another part. So economic development and infrastructure development is two parts. Now, infrastructure development, I can do it through many of NGOs or even directly through contractors. See what consists of infrastructure development, building, facilities, schools, toilet constructions, or even green development, or even water development areas. This all comes under putting money into some area sources where it will be carried out, and it's an infrastructure development. But you have to think twice here. Why? Infrastructure development is a direct expenses which I can do it, but I can take the expertise from others like contractors and other things. But other part is economic development, which is very basic of consists of livelihood development also. Here, what we have to do is we are working towards the behavioral aspect of individuals in the village. It may be a village or a town, whatever it may be, because we are working towards the underprivileged people naturally. So naturally, we have to develop themselves to make them self-reliant. Our motto is not that keep on supporting them every year. we have a time limitation. If you take 1 year, according to my knowledge, given 1 year of time, I will do this entire activities like infrastructure development and economic development within 1 year, which we have got a lot of experience. We have created such models already. Now, in this economic development, what we are doing is we first conduct all the baseline surveys, so we have entire records. In my experience, I have done separated from 15 to 25, 18 to 25 age group, which are actually initial budding stage entering into the job. We are not the job producing or employment exchange, but we have to think of what we can provide them. If they are skilled people or educated people, according to them, we have separate plan. From 25 to 40, we segregate the man and women into different groups. Most of the men will be naturally going for some job or the other. Nobody's lie in the bed in the house. So what we separately do, we conduct a meeting and find out what is that lacking for them to develop them, particularly men. And same way women, how we can promote them, because there may be girls who are just married but still idle in the home. They may not be having a job. So we have a separate program for them. We give them a lot of activity. We give them, these are the area available in which you are having education. You tell us. Now they will select and give us. I am very smart in this. Some girls would have completed a course in computers, maybe initial stage, but they may not have, exposure to go into a job. So we try to provide them that opportunity. Or if they are interested, they have completed a college education, they say, I want to educate on computer and get into even, small shop computer is being used. They can go as a, clerk, collecting money, clerk also. So everything we think this way. Then 40 to 60, we have another group. Again, once again, they are well matured girls, women and men. They are having, exclusive potential to do job. They can become a self-help group, plus they can have self-employment also. That if they are boys or men, some people may not be having a job. What they will do? They will be, ideally roaming here and there or join in some political problems. So what we support them, see, come, I will teach you driving training. When you give the skill in their hand, they will develop themselves. If you don't have any skill, they are suffering. Same way, women, we give them a lot of things are there. No, we have created pickle making unit. We have plenty of units. Industrial area, pickle is a very important topic. And the puppet making unit. Then we have created, what do you call it, bakeries. No, then some people are, very village oriented. They will ask, sir, we are only knowing how to rear cow. We can take out milk. Then we provide them dairy farming. So like this, you can say now, I have done myself around 300 families are surviving today because of the cow donated and supported by us during my tenure as a CSR head in some company. So how it has happened today, their survival is based on this cow. So dairy milk production is going on. So every aspect, chicken farm, quill farm, everything we can create, but it all depends on the company, how you want to support this entire community. So when you do this, make them themselves, self-reliant. After they get 6,000 or 8,000 per month, they are not going to stop. The taste of blood, tiger, once the tiger tastes the blood, it won't leave it. That way it is. When you have that economical power, the children will be educated by themselves. I have seen practically, I have created one group of self-help group who have become a catering group for 14 women. And today those 14 women are having, more than 4 lakhs in their bank account. And these women are supporting a small school, the young children's school, by providing or donating them a TV and vessels. So such is the self-reliant activities, then only it becomes sustainable. This all been done how? By motivating them, by supporting them, to ensure they are getting the market also. So it is not just giving a skill training and leaving them.
Yeah.
So we have to support them to ensure that ultimate goal is reached. If you are able to give 100% on everything to one village, like I said, even greenery, I have to evaluate how much green available in that particular village. Normally, as per the policy, around 33% has to be there. So we calculate it and ensure more than 10,000 plants are being planted there. So this way, every aspect, houses. If you take houses construction, we go for 100%. How many houses not available? Then how many toilets not available? We construct the toilet. See, this way only a model village is created and to ensure 100%. Our ultimate goal is for 100%. Even if you get 90% success, it is a very good model village, you can say. We have to touch every topic of a village to make it as a model village. Ultimately, the economic development livelihood is going to be a base because that only will sustain their future. Because after 1 year, I will not be supporting them. I have to ensure that their own money, their own development, their own economic condition will have to support themselves. That way only a livelihood and a model village program is carried out. And we have become successful surely. And I can support many number of people if they want.
Thank you for sharing that, and I think it's wonderful to hear you sharing the entire model with us. And you have, as you have mentioned, that the skill set, the skill training, and just thinking before imparting any skill, the need and the resources that that person has at that point of time is very important, rather than just giving any sort of skill training and then leaving the ecosystem. So it's important that just being there, and also the second element about making them self-reliant and the entire ecosystem self-sustainable is very, very, very significant, because otherwise there is no point if we keep standing there and pumping some or the other resources for a very long point of a time. That just once we leave, then the entire system will collapse. So it's important to make them empower themselves to run it.
Yes, exactly. Now, one more thing I forgot to tell you. See, when I did, even 60 to 80 years age is the old age. There may be destitute. There may not be a husband. The children might have gone out of the area. Even for them, we can have a livelihood program.
Yeah.
It's a very small, but it is required for them. We have done it for, for example, I can say, we have donated some goats, male, female goats to this particular old 25 people, 25 houses. And we instructed them very clearly. After you get the first child, that another sheep, you have to donate to the other person. It's like a passing on the gift.
Yeah.
And what they use, they don't just sell it out or go for a mutton shop. You know what they have to do? These are old people. So what they will do in this area, in villages, paddy field required menus. Okay. In this, what they happen, some of the people are there, they just collect goats and sheep from many houses. After collecting them, more than 500 sheep or goats, whatever they are collected, they will make them to stay in one particular land. They won't allow them to move for 1 week. That entire 1 week, this goat or sheep, whatever it is there, they will eat those grasses and put that same manure there. Their shit is the manure for that land. After that 1 week, he collects some money from the landlord. When he goes back, he just leaves all the goats to their own houses, these old people. And they give them, per goat 20 rupees, 100 rupees, 200 rupees. So that way, even the 60, 80 years unable to move around, they will have a livelihood. They'll be very happy to see this money. So this way we have created, some small activities so that they are very happy today. And we have certain models as an example with me.
I think you have done some really wonderful work over there, because you have knitted this entire model so beautifully. You have taken care of each and every element, every individual who is there, and you have curated a simple, small program for that particular segment of the population. So that is very, very important to make the entire model holistic, and that's really good to hear. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's wonderful to hear that.
Thank you.
All right, sir. So to move further, I would now come to the last question for today. That what elements do you feel need to be worked on to make the corporate responsibility flow seamless with the non-profit segment to reach till the last mile?
I think I said earlier also, we are selecting partners as a non-profit organization based on a lot of criteria. And they are given targets. You have to complete this on particular time, and this is a village carry out with this much of money, and this all already planned. but everything is happening. But one thing you have to be very clear. It all depends on the corporate. Because as sitting as a CSR head, I cannot just sit, I have given the money, they will carry out. No, that's not the factor. Today, I have to know how they are working, where they are working, what is the time schedule. I keep on watching it. I used to tell the people, horse knows where to take the cart, surely to take the cart to the home. But Lagan is with the CSR head. If I cannot leave the Lagan, so naturally I must know very clearly what time I should give them money clearly, how fast I should take the activity to be completed, which is the route to be followed. And as I said very earlier, everything is going to affect the organization. Whatever it may be, even the partner do anything good or bad or anything, it affects the organization. And I'm very sure every corporate is doing today now because they are afraid of their name. If something goes wrong in the field, immediately media will take our name. So naturally, what we should do, we will be always constantly working towards the ultimate goal. And that's the reason I always say, and the intention and the interest of corporate is very important to complete the goal seamlessly. Because if I have the intention and interest, naturally I will keep following the NGO, the partners, so that it takes that exact time and what is my actual requirement will be completed. If I say, okay, I have given the money, that's it. Whatever result come, I will put it in the paper. No, that interest and intention is very important. And I think a lot of companies today, they are taking a lot of interest because they know very well they are answerable now to the NCA also. And they have to carry out impact study. They have to give the reports and say, yes, how I was, how I am today. That is the difference they have to show in the activity what they are doing. So naturally, everything is happening. But surely, once again, the impact or whatever it may be, the intention of the interest of the corporate is very important to seamlessly complete and achieve the goal with the partners also. That's what
Right.
I'm very clear on that.
Yes, totally. I agree because to make any program effective, it's important that we set certain processes, systems, and mechanisms in place. There might be constant monitoring, everything like just to make that it's running and it's creating that impact that it has been set for. So that is very important to ensure that in the long run we are making sure that our interest and our intention along with the money, it's going in the right hands and delivering the right kind of impact that we envisaged it for. So that's really important to take care of.
So everything in the hands of corporate to achieve that goal. Then only we can take along
Right.
the partner also. That's right.
Definitely.
That's it.
Thank you for sharing that with us, sir. And that brings our interview to a close. And I would like to say that it was really lovely and insightful talking to you. And when you shared your thoughts, your entire journey, and your experiences with us. So thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. It's a good opportunity. There are a lot of things, the laws are taking place today. And we keep discussing a lot of things with the laws and the MCA. But surely it will be taking a very good turn. And that CSR will be very useful for the community, I hope. Thank you.